India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर्थिक मसाला।
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such words are extremely irresponsible and dangerous in nature and have caused very negative impact.
Taiwan is an island of 23 million people, situated about 100 miles off China's southeast coast. China regards it as a breakaway province under the One China principle, insisting that other countries acknowledge this and avoid treating Taiwan as a sovereign state. Taiwan, however, maintains its own government, conducts elections, and runs an independent economy, a setup rooted in 1949 when China's civil war concluded.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by CenturyPly Club Prime. रहो बेफिकर।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
So in the past, we would see most of the terrorists who would get arrested, they would be like the people who would be working at a very low level. But today we have seen the white collar suspect.
कश्मीर घाटी में डॉक्टर्स एक बहुत अल्टीमेट ड्रीम होता है वहां के लड़के लड़कियों का। उस बनने के बावजूद अगर आप रेडिकलाइज होकर अपने ही देशवासियों को मारने के लिए और अपने देश को तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं, तो आप अंदाजा लगाइए किस तरह की रेडिकलाइजेशन हो रही है और इस फ्रंट पे हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं।
Investigators have identified Maulvi Irfan Wagha, also known as Imam Irfan, from Shopian in South Kashmir, as the mastermind who blended his dual identity, that of a preacher and healthcare worker, to influence and radicalize the educated youth.
The accusation against him is completely baseless. He had been there for 7 years, offering prayers, conducting religious classes and teaching children at the religious center. He would come only occasionally.
We had no idea about the allegations against him, but we don't believe them. He is a good person. We don't know anything else.
According to the ongoing investigation, Maulvi used his access at GMC Srinagar and his sermons in Naugam's local mosques to identify and influence those he saw as easy targets, pushing them towards radicalization. He used social media to radicalize highly qualified professionals. During the questioning, Irfan admitted to the police that he had radicalized Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who is the key accused of Faridabad arms haul.
According to the officials, Imam Irfan allegedly built and expanded a white-collar terror network with the help of Pak-based Jaish handler Umar bin Khattab, alias Harjula. The police found improvised explosive devices materials, electronic gadgets during raid.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Now time for the nation's sharpest opinion. A couple of months ago, who else but Rahul Gandhi said that the Indian economy is dead. Now, I have no information on where Rahul Gandhi is tonight. He could be in Bangkok, where he is very often. He could be in Colombia, which becomes almost his second residence. For some reason, he loves Colombia. He has duties in Colombia. And he is also very often in the Middle East of late. But regardless of where Rahul Gandhi is, but he's not in Bengaluru, let me assure you, solving the problem in his party. Tonight, let's put the facts on the table. Because anyone like Rahul Gandhi, who still mocks the Indian economy, either has not read the numbers or refuses to face reality, because the headline is the latest Q2 GDP data, and what do you see? You see one number, 8.2%. Not 5.6% like last year, but 8.2%. In a world struggling with slowdown, inflation, supply shocks, India is delivering 8.2%. Now, in the first half of FY 25-26, cumulatively, the Indian economy has grown at 8%. Last year, 6.1%. This is not incremental improvement. This is what I call a leap. Now let's go a deep dive and find out where this 8.2% and 8% are coming from. Secondary sector. The engine room is roaring. Manufacturing up 9.1%, construction 7.2%. These are not soft sectors. These are hard economic fundamental, which mean factory, machinery, job production and exports. Let's go deeper. Tertiary sector. The services superpower is unleashed. Overall tertiary growth 9.2%. This is financial, real estate, professional services segment growing at, hold your breath, 10.2%. 10.2%, ladies and gentlemen. That is India's confidence sector, banking, IT, legal, consulting, real estate, booming, while major economies are facing slowdown and stagnation. Now let's look at consumer confidence. Real private consumption, 7.9%. That's up from 6.4%. That is the Indian middle class buying, investing, upgrading, consuming without fear. Because they are trusting the economic climate. Because they are feeling secure in their jobs, income, and their savings. Now, inflation management wise, I want to share some statistics with you. Nominal GDP, 8.7%. What does this mean? It means inflation is under control, and in economic terms, value addition is real, which means growth is not being inflated artificially. Ladies and gentlemen, I have recently seen a frustrated anthropologist in London who leads an anti-India lobby despite being born in India. She has given up her Indian citizenship, talking to a frustrated ex-chief economic advisor. Now, none of them are making sense to each other. Somebody sent a clip. This anthropologist doesn't know any economics, and the chief economic advisor is frustrated because he doesn't have a job right now, questioning Indian numbers. And then saying that, adding a rider, we have no facts on the basis of which to question. This is our presumption. I just want to tell these people, kindly shut up and don't put your frustration on air. What we are seeing today is a very healthy macroeconomic ecosystem, and I have been very critical of the government on several issues recently, including political issues. But let me say, as far as the economy is concerned, Rahul Gandhi, how do you say it politely to this 57-year-old political debutante, this greenhorn? I would say, shut up, Rahul Gandhi. The Indian economy is not dead. Your awareness of economics certainly is completely dead. You cannot mock the Indian economy as a matter of opinion. When you speak like that, Rahul Gandhi, the whole world realizes how ignorant you are. I will not insult you any further. The numbers prove it. Rahul Gandhi's ignorance. Now, having said that, let's debate.
Three months ago, President Donald Trump claimed India was a dead economy.
Everybody knows that the Indian economy is a dead economy.
In India, the leader of opposition parroted the West in running down the economy.
Everybody knows that the Indian economy is a dead economy. I'm glad that President Trump has stated a fact.
And even in the face of an ever-changing global economic order, amid uncertain demand-supply balance, amid Trump's tariff tantrums, the Indian economy has raced far ahead. The latest projections indicate a staggering 8.2% growth rate. While in the first quarter it had registered a 7.8% growth rate, far ahead of expectations of the IMF. India emerging as the fastest growing economy in the world has been attributed to its growing domestic manufacturing and consumption formula. In the latest edition of Republic's India Economic Summit, Union Minister Piyush Goyal explained how he remains bullish over the performance of the Indian economy.
In the last 11 years, India has moved up from a fragile 5 to the top 5 economies with high growth, low inflation, low interest rates, high forex reserves, strong banking system. We represent macroeconomic fundamentals which are the envy of the world. Many countries sanctioned us. We witnessed difficulties in our immediate economic situation. But the country stood as one. And in a short span of 5 years thereafter, by 2004, we had moved from a 4% growth to an 8.4% growth.
With growth far exceeding estimated numbers and much to the dismay of a rattled opposition in India, Bharat's growth story is unstoppable. The world and naysayers must watch closely as India scripts a unique Atmanirbhar story.
Santosh Mehrotra, I want to start with you. Sanju Verma, welcome. Jyotsna Tirunagari, we know all of them, BJP and TDP respectively. Somnath Bharti of the Aam Aadmi Party, Pooja Mishra of the Samajwadi Party. You can both give a big smile, big smile. We're doing very well, big smile. Pooja and Somnath Bharti, we are doing very well. We must be happy when the country is doing well. We must be happy, we must not be angry. Yes, very nice, thank you. And Santosh Mehrotra, this is wonderful, isn't it? Would you like to begin by congratulating the government on these incredible figures?
I'm not so sure how incredible these numbers are. I had anticipated.
What do you want, 80%?
May I explain, sir, what I was attempting to say? If you don't mind, I will appreciate your not interrupting me. If you ask an economist to speak, then let an economist speak. So the point is that in the same quarter as your own reporter said, a year ago, the growth rate was 5.6%. So you start from a low base, and when you get good construction, manufacturing and services numbers, you're getting a base effect, which is leading to the 8.2%. So that's point number one. Let's just first remind ourselves that the IMF's projection for the whole year is only 6.5%. You may rejoice at the 8.24 or whatever it is percent in the quarter. But as I just said, this is only because of the base effect. Let's just remind ourselves, thirdly, of the following fact, that over the period 2004 to 14, when Piyush Goyal was telling us that it was a fragile fight, the growth rate of the economy was 8%, 7.8% per annum. And for the last 11 years, the growth rate has been 5.8% per annum. I'm sorry to report that it's 2 percentage points lower than the preceding 10 years. Fourthly, let's just remind ourselves...
Louder for him and graphics. Louder for him and graphics.
Fourthly, we need to remind ourselves that quarterly growth rates are based on partial numbers, because you only get numbers for the organized sector, you don't get any numbers for the unorganized sector.
And graphics?
And the unorganized sector accounts for about at least 50% of the Indian economy, and all that the MOSPI and CSO is doing is projecting organized sector numbers onto the unorganized sector.
Can you put the 8.2 number?
Unfortunately, inflated increase, and that's what you may well rejoice on. On manufacturing, let me just remind you that this government inherited a 17% contribution of manufacturing to GDP, and that has never reached that level. It is currently below 15%. And that is unfortunate, that is tragic.
It is only in India.
Manufacturing has actually fallen.
It is only in India. It is only in India that an Indian comes on the program and is extremely upset when the economy is doing well. This is only in India this happens.
I'm just telling you, as an economist...
It is only in India. What you are seeing, viewers, only happens in India. Why are you unhappy? Santosh, why are you unhappy?
I'm very happy, Professor Goswami.
I'm not a professor, I'm a practicing journalist.
Okay, so let me just remind you, I'm the professor, you are the journalist. So I'm talking.
But I'm sounding like a professor and you are sounding like some YouTuber.
You may sound full of sound and fury, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're speaking the facts.
No, I'll tell you the facts which you are not aware of, and I'm actually quite
aware of the facts.
I'll tell you, since you are speaking to the, so one minute, just wait. Because he's challenged me, I have to respond 30 seconds. Since he is speaking, since he is speaking to the best informed news anchor, editor and journalist in the country.
What you think?
You see, everything is relative, in my view, and in the view of the viewers. In the view of the viewers of the program. Let me tell you, if it is 5.6% in the same quarter last year, and 8.2% this year, this means we have robust economic momentum given the global uncertainties. Second fact, which you want to be blind on because you are a Rahul Gandhi supporter, is that the growth...
Where you got that from? This is your assumption. You may think about...
Okay, you are a Sonia Gandhi supporter.
It's irrelevant. Don't talk. Don't
Okay,
talk rubbish.
you are a Robert Vadra supporter.
Because you can't challenge me on the facts. You want to sort of now throw aspersions on who's...
I'm not making aspersions, but I'm saying that the exceptional growth, the exceptional growth is dominated by growth in the secondary and tertiary sectors, which have driven the economy to this impressive 8% expansion. Now, one has to learn to be happy about these things, you know.
I'm very happy. Professor Goswami, I just want to tell you, under this government, we've added 80 million workers to agriculture.
Okay, viewers, I'll tell you, PK, just wait. PK, just wait. I just wish a day comes. I wish a day comes when everybody in the is happy that the country is doing well.
Rajesh Mahapatra will bear me out on what I'm saying.
Sure, Rajat Mahapatra may, but you know, why are you looking for his endorsement? You are not confident about yourself?
No, I know. I'm perfectly confident about what I'm saying.
Anyway, Sanju is...
Because he's the only other economist on the channel, that's why I'm telling
Since you're also on the most fair and balanced network in the country, I'll let Sanju respond to you. Sanju.
Thank you.
Sanju.
Thank you.
Sanju, he said it's a very low base last year.
Arnab, when Mr. Mehrotra was talking, I was absolutely quiet. He doesn't like to be heckled, and I'm sure he will not heckle me either. First and foremost, many congratulations to you, Arnab, and your team on this excellent India Economic Summit.
Thank you.
And I don't know if it's a coincidence, but look at the stellar GDP growth number of 8.2%.
Absolutely.
I just want to say this. FY22 GDP growth 9.7%, FY23 7.6%, FY24 9.2%, FY25 provisional 6.5%, which means in the last 4 financial years, India's GDP growth has been a phenomenal 8.25% when the world is struggling to grow at even 2%. Point number 1. Point number 2, a few months back, S&P, the global rating giant, it actually upgraded India's sovereign rating for the first time after 18 years from BBB minus to BBB. The third point, India is the only economy where retail inflation is 0.25%, and yet the GDP growth is 8% plus. Be it the US, UK, Germany, France, what have you. Inflation is rising, growth is falling. In India, growth is rising and inflation is falling. The fourth and most important point, India is a services economy with services accounting for more than 58% of our GDP. And what has been the growth of the services sector? 9.2%. What has been the growth of the manufacturing sector? 9.1%. But lo behold, look at one figure which nobody is talking about. Private final consumption expenditure, PFCE, it grew by 7.9%, which means households have enough money to spend. Their disposable incomes have been rising. Their purchasing power has been on the rise. And the full impact of next gen GST reforms will be felt in the GDP growth number of the December quarter. The September quarter, as in the Q2 number that we are discussing, only captured a part of the positive of GST 2.0, which was unleashed by the Modi government. The other very important point I want to make, Arnab, very quickly, and now this is for your audience, because I believe audiences understand when you break it down and you are not limited to technical jargon. Please listen to this. The world's 4th largest economy, the world's 8th largest tourist economy, the world's 2nd largest steel producer, the world's 2nd largest cement producer, the world's 4th largest automobile producer, the world's 3rd largest energy producer, after China, Japan, Switzerland, the world's 4th largest forex reserve, the world's 5th largest stock market in terms of market capitalization, with market capitalization exceeding 472 lakh crore, a country with the world's 7th largest gold reserves, the world's 2nd largest tractor manufacturer, the world's 2nd largest smartphone market, Which is this country that I'm talking of?
Okay, I'll get. Okay, now.
My last point. I just want to say this to Rahul Gandhi and his minions like Jairam Ramesh.
Oh, yeah, he should really shut up now after this. You know, he should keep quiet.
Arnab, very quickly. Arnab, you know, I think the only person who can compete with me, we keep flattering ourselves, but for good reason. You don't have a single modest bone in your body, nor do I. But I want to say this, that I had written an article a few weeks back, the Indian economy is alive and kicking, and I'm very proud to say Prime Minister Modi shared it from his personal PMO handle. So anybody who's an ignoramus here, go read my article on
Who are you calling an ignoramus now tonight?
Sorry?
Who are you calling an ignoramus?
I'm calling the Congress Darbari ecosystem an ignoramus.
Congress ecosystem are ignoramuses. So now I first want to bring a smile to everyone's face, because you see, only problem I have is, you see Somnath Bharti, why are you treating it like a catastrophe? आपको देख के लग रहा है आप मातम मना रहे हैं, क्या है? We are doing so well. And you have nothing to do with the growth. You see, now look at Pooja Mishra. Look at Santosh Mehrotra. I don't know about Rajesh. Rajesh, I don't know what his view is on this, but I just know that Piyush Goyal was on our campus earlier today, and he said that, Arnab, the Congress party had glamorized poverty. We used to make movies that Indian women have to go 20 kilometers to get water. And at that time, the political fraud Indira Gandhi used to call for Garibi Hatao. She only did Garibi Badhao, and she brought in president's rule in 15 state governments. There's no need to laugh artificially. This is not a natural laugh. You're pretending to be amused. You're actually, man ke man mein you are angry.
Professor Goswami, I can correct you on the numbers in respect of poverty under Mrs. Gandhi. Anyway,
I'll talk about Mrs. Gandhi later. I find her to be a mix of Idi Amin and Pinochet, and in her political thinking, she's the worst person, big dictator. Now, anyway, Pooja and Somnath Bharti, would you like to congratulate the ruling coalition for these stunning numbers?
Yes, Arnab. Congratulations to the government for fabricating GDP so well that everyone is discussing that, okay, GDP has grown. Let's talk about the private final consumption expenditure. The BJP spokesperson pointed it out very well, like it has grown to 7.9%. But she didn't talk about what? 40 to 43% of GDP in 2025 households are debt-driven. If GDP increases on debt-driven or credit-driven, it's a fabricated GDP. It's not real growth in GDP. When you talk about why didn't even you or the BJP spokesperson didn't talk about the agriculture? Our 46% population depends on agriculture, and their growth is just 3.5%. Let's talk about the employment elasticity. There is growth in GDP, but there isn't growth in the employment elasticity.
What?
There should be growth in jobs also.
What?
Let's talk.
Where's PK gone?
Employment elasticity. Employment elasticity.
Get him back.
Can I come in on the employment bit or not?
Employment.
When you are saying that I didn't come.
1 minute, let her complete. Sanju, don't disturb. Sanju, this is not fair. Sanju, this is not fair. Please.
What is secondary? The real GDP is...
Let her complete.
Well, you well said. It depends on the secondary and the tertiary. But does it give the jobs to the rural people?
Yes.
When you are talking about the GDP, it should give the jobs to the rural people. It should increase the employment elasticity. In the ground, there is no increase in jobs. The rural people are not getting benefited. The overall citizens are not getting benefited. And we're saying that, okay, we're celebrating GDP has increased, GDP has increased. If it's credit-driven GDP, I won't call it a real GDP increase. It's just a fabricated GDP. And if you want to celebrate a GDP which is fabricated, then congratulations to you and the BJP government.
Okay, I'm getting Jyotsna in on this. I would just like to say this tonight, that anybody making fun of India's economic growth does not understand economics. This is my clear view. We are becoming a global manufacturing hub. I agree. We should make manufacturing 25% at least of our, this was the target. We have not achieved our target, I agree. Rajesh Mahapatra, and the government should do more. But does not mean that we don't look at our improvement in mobile manufacturing. We don't look at our, increase in manufacturing as a percentage of share of GDP. We don't look at merchandise exports. We don't look at, Rajesh, defense exports. We don't look at the PLI scheme, which has done well. It can do better, no doubt. And as far as unemployment figures are concerned, I want Rajesh, I mentioned him twice, Rajesh and Jyotsna. Unemployment rate is also showing a declining trend. For persons of the age 15 years and above. Now, you don't have to laugh like that. You're looking foolish when you laugh like that, Professor Mehrotra.
Stop being stupid as you usually are, and stop using words which are aspersions and personal.
There are no aspersions. I just commented on how you are looking when you are laughing artificially.
Because you are funny. Because you are funny. You are really very funny. What can I do?
Yeah, really? Chalo, enjoy. I will let Jyotsna respond. Jyotsna.
You are such a joker.
Okay, I am a joker. I am a joker. Fine, you're happy, no, on a Friday evening? I made you laugh, no?
Wonderful.
At least I made you smile. At least I made you smile.
I'm at a wedding. I'm going to leave you very soon.
Yeah. You know. Today when Piyush Goyal was here, he spoke about what the government had to do to get $35 billion in as a special injection to save our foreign exchange reserves. When the NDA came to power. Jyotsna, please. Jyotsna versus Rajesh. Jyotsna.
Arnab, first of all, congratulations on the excellent event, I would say. I was really, it was very insightful, I should say.
Thank you.
For people like me, it was like too good. Information, too good. Now, Arnab ji, here we are dealing with people who don't have clarity. उनको बस ना वो theatrics, वो drama, वही चलता है. And sorry to say, but we are facing these people day in and day out. Now, the GDP or debate about GDP has to be about countries' economic trajectory, It should not be about their political discomfort. GDP बढ़ रहा है, they have a problem. Economy बढ़ रही है, they have a problem. Somebody, some person, some XYZ says India's economy is dead, and they're like, come on. People are saying, somebody is saying my thing, what I want, what is there in my heart, वो इन लोगों के जुबान पे आ गया तो चलो मैं वही लेके चलूं. And they don't know the numbers. Sorry to say, they don't understand the numbers. They don't probably understand the meaning of GDP. They do not want to understand the meaning of GDP. अब उनके लिए हमेशा भारत ऐसा स्टेज पे रहना चाहिए जहाँ पे everybody thinks Bharat is on the low. That is their psyche. So again, Arnab ji, we are dealing with people who are indulged in this dramabazi all the time. The only thing they want is to see India on the lower level all the time. Now, again, when I come back to facts, numbers speak. Arnab ji, only numbers speak. Today, the numbers that are put up on your screen, real GDP growth of 8.2%. And the growth from last quarter. These are the numbers that...
Coming to you, PK.
I hope they understand, and I hope they learn some maths out there. I hope they really do that maths and come to your debate and sit here. ये ना बोले कि ये तो नहीं, ये तो fake GDP है, ये तो fake number है. I'm really pitying them. मतलब जी आप भी ना अभी एक Friday evening अभी आपने बोला है एक smile आप अपने मुंह पे भी ला लीजिएगा. Just pity them for some time.
I want PK to come in versus Rajesh. PK, they are saying these numbers are not believable. This is all I have heard them say. There is nothing to substantiate this comment of theirs, but I'd like you to give your point of view and then I'll follow up with Rajesh. What do you think?
So look, this is the 12th year of the Modi government, and in 9 of those 12 years, India has been the world's fastest growing economy. Average growth, as Sanju correctly pointed out, it has been 8.25% over the last 4 years. So we have just returned to trend this quarter. Now, we still haven't seen the full impact of the GST cuts. The GST cuts will provide, there was an average, weighted average 2 percentage point cut in all GST rates, which have reduced inflation to near zero, 0.25% in the latest month. And inflation is going to stay low. And real GDP is going to grow 9% over the next 12 months. So that is my forecast. I have, in fact, been not at all surprised by the 8.2% growth because that's just a return to trend. Unfortunately, a lot of our so-called economists on the street are not looking at the numbers with any real focus. And they're missing the fact that the services sector is half of India's economy. Over the last 27 years, services growth has averaged 8.5% a year in real terms. And that continues to be a very strong sector. But on top of that, we now have manufacturing beginning to contribute very significantly. And part of that contribution comes from exports as well. So, the fact that about 20% of all Apple iPhones are now made in India, all the iPhones sold in the United States over the last 6 months have been made in India, and they are not subject to extra import duties into the US. All of this is contributing. But the real factor is that the Indian economy has broad-based strength. Agriculture has had an excellent year. So with agriculture doing well as well, you're going to see farm incomes strengthen, and consumption, rural consumption, is also going to kick in and help the economy do even better in the year ahead. So you heard this first here, 9% real GDP growth is what you're going to get in the next 12 months because you've got a big kicker of consumption support from the reduction in GST rates.
Rajesh, Santosh Mehrotra said before you joined that you share his cynicism about these numbers. Do you?
Arnab, it's not a question of cynicism or pessimism. You also claim that you are the best informed anchor in the country, and I have no doubt that you are the best informed anchor. And in that spirit, I would hope that you would give me a few minutes to explain, because I think it is important that the role of the best informed anchor is to rightly inform the audience that he is speaking to. Now you got a data which shows that India's GDP grew 8.2%.
You also got the same data.
Just 1 second.
No, we got the same. No, just one point. I'm not stopping you. I'm just 1 point only to you. Rajesh, see, when all of you say you got the data, I want to tell you that even the Congress was in power, we all got the same data only.
Arnab, before you go ahead, when I use the term you, I am using it as a collective for all of us.
We all got the same data from the same source, source that gave us the same data when the Congress was in power, which is the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation.
Yes, the government today said that India's GDP grew 8.2% in real terms in the second quarter. It also said that the nominal GDP grew 8.7%, which means if you take the difference, 8.2%, and add 0.4% to that, you get the nominal GDP growth.
It's been more than half an hour. I'm not allowed to speak a word.
Well, 1 minute, Somnathji. After him, I'm coming to you. Calm down.
Somnath, I'll quickly finish. I won't take very long. So what you have, these numbers telling you that the inflation rate has been about 0.4%. Now that is what is a problem that many statisticians will point it out to you. And that's a problem because the approach we take in reaching quarterly estimates, we use only an income approach. Okay? And there are risks in that innovation. Hang on. PK, you have spoken. I listen to everybody patiently.
PK called it rubbish, but PK will respond later.
Can I come in, Arnab?
No, everybody has to be calm. To be fair, let him complete. Let Rajesh complete. Please don't be restless. Samay hai. time hai.
Let me clarify. It's not a question of cynicism or pessimism. It's about every trained economist has a right to ask certain questions. We are asking questions.
PK, you have been called untrained.
How is it that where are you seeing this 0.4% inflation? That is one. Two, I also agree that agriculture is doing very well. And because of agriculture, you will get even a better figure in the third quarter, which is October, December. But the fact remains, where are you getting these manufacturing numbers? People are questioning that because we have every month the same government data that are released to us. Core sector is growing at a very sluggish pace. Exports are almost flat. In last couple of months, they have been down year on year. So how are you getting such a big number when it comes to your quarterly estimates? You are getting that number because you are taking mostly for manufacturing, you are taking corporate sectors net profits, using that as a proxy for the entire informal and formal sector, and you are getting a very higher number. Okay? And you are also getting a higher number because you are assuming a very artificially low deflator, which is why Arnab, the International Monetary Fund has been compelled to give you a C grade as far as your national account statistics are concerned.
IMF has its own agenda, IMF has its own agenda. IMF has its own agenda. You know that.
Arnab, everybody has his agenda. I will only complete. If the economy is growing at 8.2% growth, where is he? I see the only party is in Republic Studio. That's all.
Chalo, one minute. Rajesh, 1 minute. Rajesh, see. Rajesh, see. I am not having a party, but unlike you, I am very happy when there is a thriving service business activities sector. And if we are doing well in agriculture, people like you used to come and say the government is doing very badly in agriculture. Now, if manufacturing and construction have been pivotal, right? Maybe we are repivoting the economy. 1 minute. 9.1 and 7.2. What do they broadly indicate? They indicate a strong industrial base capable of sustaining development despite globally inflationary pressures and disrupted supply chains. Proof of the pudding, Rajesh, will be that if this sustains for 6 months, even you will have to admit that your assumptions were wrong. But Somnath has not spoken. Somnath has not spoken. Somnath has not spoken. Okay. But Somnath has not spoken, and I am a fair and balanced anchor. So Somnath will speak. Somnath, where do you stand, please? These soaring numbers.
Let me first congratulate you on being, having become a professor now. Somebody among the panelists told you professor.
Well, I'm not a doctor. Otherwise, I would have saved the Congress from putting the economy on a ventilator. You put the Delhi economy on a ventilator.
Second thing,
you are an intensivist doctor.
I'll come to you. Now. Arnab, it was just to bring a smile on your face. Okay.
Bye, I'm always smiling.
Okay. Arnab, see, President Trump said that India's economy is dead. I don't trust him. And second thing, I condemn that Rahul Gandhi ji has always been believing in whatever President Trump says about India. That's not fair for the nation. And why do we expect President Trump saying good things about the nation? But then, so I was, very happy when I heard of 8.2% GDP growth story.
Yeah.
But then suddenly I have been sent a tweet. Today. Because, see, you were quoting Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal ji, because he has given this growth story news to one of the programs. And then another BJP leader, Subramaniam Swamy, he has brought one newspaper cutting.
He's from which party, Subramaniam Swamy?
IMF gives C
which
grade
party is he from?
India's
which party?
National Account Statistics.
He's from the Subramaniam Swamy party. Which party is he? Huh? You mean he's not yet been sacked from the BJP?
Is he not from BJP?
No, what leadership position does he hold in BJP?
No.
What leadership position does he hold in BJP?
Well, he has been ex-MP of yours.
Huh?
He has been 6 terms MP.
Who was the lady who was beaten up in Kejriwal's house? Should I refer to her as AAP leader? Is Amanatullah Khan an AAP leader?
So, allow me.
Tahir Hussain an AAP leader?
Allow me.
Tahir Hussain, Amanatullah Khan, Sarjil Imam,
if you
Umar Khalid, are they AAP leaders? How did Subramaniam Swamy become a BJP leader?
I mean, can you? All right. So, if his intro says so, ask BJP to tell him to take it off from his intro. So, Subramaniam Swamy says, how sad for India. We were forerunners of the culture of statistics and IMF, and now we are down to the situation of IMF calling India the C-grade nation. So I was very happy when I heard of 8.2% story, and I was not believing President Trump. I was not believing Rahul Gandhi. But then what do? I have such a credible economist, so-called Subramaniam Swamy, a BJP, none less than the other party. Second thing, see, so 8.2% growth story should reflect on the ground. So where are we there? So are we really, in that mode the nation has been brought?
You know the meaning of GDP?
When you say 2 crore per year, jobs will create. 2.4 crore jobs we lost. 83% engineers
Do you know the difference between current account deficit and fiscal deficit?
32,000 jobs.
Standard & Poor's has raised India's
are there for one clerk job.
Long years.
Where is it reflecting?
The IMF says,
so I would say, Arnab,
India is the world's
this is
fastest
growth
growing
or this is illusion of growth?
Do you know the full form of IMF?
BJP has mastered this art of fudging the data.
Lie on national television.
Data is of pollution, AQI, or the data is of economic growth.
You're coming on an economic debate.
Propaganda. And
this is not your Aam Aadmi Party ka mohalla,
so that's
where you can get away by doing anything.
No. I want to tell you, just 1 minute. I want to ask you, Somnath Bharti, a simple question, and now listen to me. Now listen to me, Somnath. But no. 1 minute. 1 minute. I want to speak to Somnath Bharti for a moment. Mr. Bharti, I want to speak to you. Mr. Bharti, I want to speak to you. Don't keep referring to international. It's not
IMF is giving
it's not International Monitoring Fund. It is the International Monetary Fund. First, it is not a meteorological institute. It is not the International Monitoring Fund. It is the International Monetary Fund, and that is why I say I am the best informed anchor in the country for a long time by far. Now, having said that, Mr. Bharti, I want to educate you because you called me a professor. It is my duty to teach you as my student tonight. You see, you have said that the IMF has rated, right, the India's GDP and other data as a C. First of all, it has rated the data. It has not given a counter data. It has rated the data. Now listen, Baba, it is not questioning 8.2. First of all, Are Baba, listen to me. I am the best informed anchor in the country. Now listen to me.
BJP has mastered this art of fudging the data.
Chalo, now listen to me. 1 minute, Baba. Oh, this is a problem. Sanju, now listen to me, both of you. I want only 1 minute.
What's the data?
What do you mean Sanju now? I've barely spoken.
Yeah, but I'm saying Sanju, I want 1 minute. 1 minute on my own program.
Your growth story reflects nowhere.
1 minute on my own program. People are watching. If you behave so badly with me on the program, people will not like it. They respect me. You see, I'm also a very respected anchor. Now listen to me. I'm a respect and well-informed anchor. Yeah, 1 minute now, Rajesh, you don't start. Listen to me. I am saying that the IMF is questioning the efficacy of the data, not the data itself. It is saying that we need a better monitoring and surveillance of the GDP data system of India. It is saying, it is not using the word fudging. Don't lie! Don't lie, it is not using the word fudging.
It means
fudging.
It
does not, you have used that language. It has not said so. It is not questioning 8.2.
Yes.
Oh my God, what kind
There
of...
are four grades, the grade economy.
Arey yaar, this is not a grading, it is a questioning of the data efficacy. God,
He's accused of domestic violence. Somnath Bharti is accused of domestic violence. I don't know why you get this man on your show and give him legitimacy. Arnab Goswami, you can do better than that.
Why should I be involved? Why should I be involved in his personal matters?
You are accused of domestic violence. There's nothing personal about it. You're a public figure. You're accused of domestic violence.
What does...
It is a statement that you're being given legitimacy.
Sanju, what does that have to do with the Indian economy?
You are accused of domestic violence. So please shut up. Please shut up.
Does it have any dignity?
Domestic violence.
Okay,
Does it have any dignity? When she does not have merit in the debate, she would talk of something rubbish. This woman has fallen. She can go to any extent. When she loses control on the debate, when she is losing in the debate, she will go to an. She just talks rubbish.
PK, Sanju.
Throw her out of your show.
Sanju, PK, they brought in the IMF. The IMF has questioned the GDP measurement system and saying it has graded it a C. What does the IMF want from India? What clarification do they want?
Can I speak now?
Yeah, please speak.
So, now, if India is worth a C, I'm sure China is either a D, E or F.
Correct.
Because China's system of measuring GDP does not even have a time series. It starts every year with 100 and it gives you a 109 number or 105 number by the end of the year. So it is not even a time series. So now with regard to India, the main quibble that the IMF has is that the base year used is too old. It's now 14 years old. India revises the base year with a substantial lag, and this is not a new thing. This has been going on for 70, 80 years. India is quite slow to revise the GDP base. That's all. That is all that the quibble that the IMF has. To call this somehow fudged is nonsense. It is a technical matter that India has not revised its GDP base year for 14 years now. It's about to do it. It's in the process of doing it. The last time we had a revision, the Congress ecosystem went up in arms. So the point is that when you have a revision, a lot of the old numbers will change as well. But the point is that if you look at India's GDP growth numbers, after all the revisions, after 1.5, 2 years, when the final revision comes in, it is always higher than what we started off with. You know, for instance, the year that we now have 9.2% growth, that year, the initial number was less than 8%. It was slowly revised up to 9.2% when all the numbers came in. The informal sector numbers don't come in that quickly. When they are added in, you get an even bigger number. So the point is that India is the fastest growing economy for a reason. And that is that
are we done with
the macroeconomic management is
Pooja is saying, are we done?
Account that has been in surplus.
If we are done with the numbers, let's talk about the ground reality. Let's talk about the ground reality. When I talk about the numbers, parallel, you need to talk about the ground reality too.
All over the world,
it's very
in India.
Numbers. It's very easy. You can incorporate the only section of the corporation. You have integrated that. You have incorporated that, and now you have increased the GDP number.
Jyotsna and Pooja.
The employment elasticity is negative 0.44. And you are saying that the GDP has increased. You are not giving jobs. There is no development in rural areas. Neither in the industrial workers. You are increasing the wages. And you are saying that we are growing. And we are proud of it. We are not increasing the lifestyle of our people. We are not increasing the income of our citizens, and we are not increasing any way. Rather, even the employment elasticity is negative in rural. And when we talk about the urban areas, it's plus 0.85. If you don't know, then how come the GDP has increased and we have not given jobs to our people? And we are just celebrating. Okay, we have increased our GDP number. Just go on increasing. Make it 10 also. If you're not giving jobs to people, then it's not.
Jyotsna, the argument being put today is that one, IMF is questioning our methodology, And the second point is that these numbers don't reflect on the ground. Jyotsna.
I think I should say we should pity their selective ignorance. I phrase it. It is selective ignorance. अब इन लोगों को problem ये है, they can yell whatever they want to, but they can't erase the numbers, which is the fact. And this 8.2% is not an opinion. I should have my word. I think I deserve to speak. Please keep quiet. Please keep quiet. I'm being very polite when I say this. Please keep quiet when I'm talking. I haven't spoken when you people spoke. Now, it's official data. The data is official. So, you can yell at it, you can, laugh at it, whatever you want to, you can do. You call yourselves critics, you do whatever you want to unearth. But facts don't disappear just because you don't like the facts. Numbers don't disappear just because you don't like the numbers. Now, we are no longer, India is no longer, what you call a hopeful story. We are a, economy with real momentum. You have to understand that, and you have to probably digest that. We are going with real momentum. We are surging upwards, and the country is flourishing. The country is progressing. You have to understand that. Now, in the numbers that we were speaking, Arnabji, yes, all the areas, let's say manufacturing, service sectors, yes, everything is going on good. It's very correctly put up on your screens also. Manufacturing, electricity, construction, defense, automobile, textile, everything we are going on good. Yes, we have still a long way to go in terms of agriculture.
Louder, Pooja.
Credit-driven GDP can never be a real growth in our country. You are talking about the GDP, only the numbers. Only people don't understand numbers. They understand if they get the job. They understand if their income increases. They understand when their lifestyle increases. They understand when the inflation decreases. They don't understand numbers. When we talk about the numbers, we need to talk about the people, the laborers, the workers. The manufacturing sector is giving so much GDP, but workers are not getting wages, not getting stable jobs. And
Jyotsna and Somnath.
These numbers are credit-driven. Be clear about it. These numbers are credit-driven.
I don't believe what's going on. You see, the problem is none of
Jyotsna, louder, please. Why have you cut Jyotsna's audio?
The ground.
Audio?
There are 32,000 applicants for one clerk job. Can you believe?
Audio. Jyotsna's audio.
32,000.
It's not fluctuating. Sanju.
For one clerk job. And you want the Indians to believe the country is growing. We don't have ambulances. We don't have beds for the poor. We don't have medical facilities.
Let me tell you, the Modi government has built more than 12 crore toilets.
Facility.
More than 40,000 kilometers of railway electrified.
Poor have become
more than
poorer.
47 Vande Bharat trains. Let me tell you, more than 37 crore Ayushman cards have been given. More than 25 lakh crore worth of produce has been procured at MSP by the Modi government.
By IMF.
More than 8 crore Kisan credit cards have been distributed.
Yes. Farmers are committing suicide.
And you're sitting and telling me nothing has happened. Let me tell you, State Bank of India has made profit of more than 1.7 lakh crore in the last 4 years, which is more than the combined profit made by SBI
in every aspect.
Okay. I think I can't change the views of people, but I think I would like to just issue a clarification here that as far as the IMF C ranking is concerned, they're questioning some issues in the methodology and demanding greater surveillance over our statistics. They are not, they are not questioning the statistics themselves. So they are not rating the Indian economy C. They are questioning the efficacy of the data as per their own established internal norms, which is a world of difference. Now Imran Khan is missing. We don't know whether he's alive or dead, but his sister, I'm told, is wanting to speak through Republic. So Imran Khan's sister will be going live on the channel in a very short while, so don't go away.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by CenturyPly Club Prime. Raho befikar.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरीप्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरीप्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा। पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरीप्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर।
India is at an inflection point from where we are going to take off to the next level seamlessly on the back of our democracy, rule of law, our decisive leadership, our demographic dividend, the young aspirational Indian. India is on the move and there's no stopping India now.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by CenturyPly Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरीप्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरीप्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
MDH।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, the mystery deepens. Has Imran Khan been killed? Questions of Asif Munir, not just from within Pakistan but across the world. At 9 o'clock tonight, some stunning, staggering GDP growth numbers, stunning global markets, and the rewriting of the economic expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, has Imran Khan been killed? Has he been assassinated? Is there a plan to poison him? How is Imran Khan? Is Asif Munir hatched an evil plot to eliminate Imran Khan because he sees him as a potential threat for the future? As of now, nobody knows where Imran Khan is. Viewers, let me start with a very simple question tonight. Which country in the world blocks one of its own chief ministers from meeting his own party leader 8 times? And you know the answer, you know exactly which country I'm talking about. It is Pakistan, an absolute uncontrollable situation of panic amidst reports about the possible assassination of Imran Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, the UN is also talking about it. The UN deputy spokesperson has said, we have called for his human rights and due process rights to be respected. So the United Nations is already stepping in, but we still don't know whether Imran Khan is alive or whether this intervention is too late. There are political protests. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi, top leaders continue with their sit-in protest outside the jail where he is believed to have been kept. But there are reports that he's been moved out of the jail. Midnight protesters outside Adiala jail in Pakistan demanding access to Imran Khan. Protesters chanting, every Pakistani is Imran Khan. There is a plea in the High Court. Imran Khan's sister Alima Khan, along with the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi, the entire legal team have arrived at the Islamabad High Court. They are filing pleas, just let us meet him once. We don't know whether Imran Khan is dead or whether he's alive. The KPK Chief Minister Sohail Afridi has said that despite court orders and despite informing the Prime Minister, the Chief Executive of a province is not being allowed to meet his leader, Imran Khan. All of this amidst reports that he could have been already killed. We hope not. We hope not, ladies and gentlemen, but it's Pakistan, a barbaric country. Anything can happen there. Most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice is hiding in his chamber. Afridi says the proceeding was held for only half an hour. After that, the Chief Justice went to the chamber. Officials came to us and told us the Chief Justice doesn't want to meet us. A Chief Justice refusing to confirm or help when possibly a former Prime Minister has been killed or will be killed. This is the situation in Pakistan, where you have a military dictator with more powers than the North Korean dictator. There is UN intervention. A Chief Justice is hiding. There are unending protests. A ruling province is revolting. There is a warning of an overnight regime change in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And viewers, as of tonight, as I prepare to bring you our next news report on this, update you on all that has happened, we cannot confirm whether Asif Munir has overplayed his hand by assassinating Imran Khan.
Pakistan stands on knife's edge. Rumors of Imran Khan's death have triggered a political earthquake. Rumors of Imran Khan's death have triggered a political earthquake.
शर्म नहीं आती है ये इस किस्म की बात कर रहे हैं? याद रखेंगे जो बोल रहे हैं। इमरान खान के बाल को भी इन्होंने नुकसान पहुंचाया। मैं आपको ये बता दूं, जरा पाकिस्तानियों से बाहर निकल के पूछ लें, इनमें से कोई नहीं बचेगा।
Fury has spilled onto the streets. Leading the charge, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi, flanked by PTI MPs, ministers and supporters, staging a continuous sit-in.
सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है देखना है जोर कितना बाजुए कातिल में.
The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa CM says that he has exhausted every legal path to meet Imran Khan.
दफा मैं गया हूं और मेरी मुलाकात जो है मेरे लीडर से नहीं करवाई गई, हत्ता कि मेरा पासपोर्ट ब्लॉक कर दिया और वहां पर जो है पाकिस्तानी एयरफोर्स के जहाज जो है एक वज़ीर-ए-आला को यहां से उधर लेकर जा रहे. तो ये इम्तियाजी सलूक नहीं होना चाहिए और इसमें जो है आप दूरियां पैदा कर रहे हैं. आप जो है ऐसे कारनामे कर रहे हैं जिससे जो है नफरतें बढ़ रही हैं और दूरियां भी बढ़ रही हैं.
Afridi says every constitutional door has now been slammed shut for PTI and peaceful protest is their last democratic option. The UN has now reacted, warning and calling for Khan's rights to be protected. Tonight, as Alima raises the alarm, as PTI says that they are being stonewalled by courts and the establishment, as the UN steps in, one question hangs over Islamabad. Is Imran Khan dead or alive?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight General G.D. Bakshi is with us, Samarpal Tur is with us, and Rohan Gupta, the spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. This is now becoming an international situation because Raja Faisal is joining us from Islamabad and Major Nadeem is joining us from Islamabad. Even the United Nations has stepped in right now and is concerned that Imran Khan can be killed or that has been assassinated. But most importantly, everything's been blocked. Nobody's been allowed to move inside. The Chief Justice has gone into his chamber. He is refusing to meet, which means something people worry may already have happened. Now people are saying, Raja, that maybe he's been killed. And it will be very unfortunate if people like you, if Pakistanis like you are going to pretend to be dumb and deaf and deaf as your former cricket captain and prime minister faces a life threat, or maybe he's been eliminated like others before him. This is a matter of concern. It's not a question of an Indian news network raising this question. It is a question which is being asked globally now.
And this is the question that must be asked, of course. And when it comes to Pakistan, Pakistan as a state is, of course, behaving appropriately in terms that Imran Khan, he has been kept in the jail. There are cases against him, and due to them cases, he's inside. And of course, there are people who have high concerns about him being in the jail and they want him out. CM KPK is, of course, including them. And of course, when we talk about the family, the sisters of Imran Khan, they are very curious to know whereabouts of Imran. And overall, when we talk about the Pakistan's government, they have a stance and they say that we are not letting anybody meet with Imran Khan only because of one reason, that if somebody comes back, then they start tweeting. And once they start tweeting, it actually creates a chaos. And that's why they are trying to avoid it. Overall, Pakistan is behaving appropriately. Nothing has happened to Imran Khan. And everyone is mature enough to know that if something happens to Imran Khan, there will be chaos.
If they try to kill Imran Khan, or if they have already killed Imran Khan, and if Munir thinks, 1 minute, but Munir has got himself judicial immunity on all aspects, which means even if he kills, or even if someone alleges that after becoming the military dictator that he kills him, you actually cannot start an illegal process against Munir. So he has protected himself against any eventuality of Imran Khan's assassination.
That's a very interesting cross question, and I would answer to it in this way: that when a leader like Imran Khan, if something happens to him, I think everyone understands that masses follow him, and if masses are following him, then nobody would be waiting for the constitution or waiting for the judiciary to take the action. People would take action by themselves. So everyone is mature enough to understand that, and I think powerful corridors of the Pakistan, they are of course, they know all of these facts on ground, and that's why nothing can.
So, but can an unelected military dictator kill, assassinate the leader of the largest party in the most recent elections because he considers him a threat? Now, you may say this is not a possibility, but you are also aware that these things happen in Pakistan and have happened in the past.
Under the Constitution of Pakistan, Chief of the Army Staff gets selected from given names, 4 to 5 names. They go to Prime Minister and Prime Minister selects it. So of course, when we talk about Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir, he was 3 years ago selected by the current Prime Minister. Of course, he was Prime Minister at that time, and then he was elected again. But the Chief of the Army Staff was selected at that time. So I just wanted to clear it that he was someone who was actually selected amongst his fellow officers.
No, I think it's a matter of concern. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to also share with everyone, a lot of people from Pakistan are saying to us, Rohan, that we are not getting any news from our Pakistani media networks. We are worried that our former Prime Minister has been killed, which is why the meetings for his family have been cancelled and his family members are being beaten up. And there is a media blackout. If anyone covers news about Imran Khan, then there is immediate intervention. Geo News is not covering, ARY News is not covering, PTV is not covering. There is zero coverage. Even YouTubers are not covering. Only some loyal supporters of PTI are still questioning. So what is the concern from our perspective, Rohan, that you would like to share with the Pakistanis?
See, basically, since you cannot change your neighbors, obviously it's a matter of concern for us. And Pakistan, we know that it's a nuclear state. And the kind of situation Pakistan currently is very, very dangerous. And Munir, from the time he removed Imran Khan, there was a strong anger against Pakistan army in Pakistan for the first time. Then he orchestrated this Pahalgam incident to divert the attention. But after situation is normal in Pakistan, his situation was really, really bad in minds of people of Pakistan. So, and he can go to any extent to save his power. He's an insecure man. He's a coward military chief. So you never know what he can go up to. But at the end of the day, since we are the neighbor of Pakistan, it's a matter of our concern. And we have to watch it very, very closely. And you never know that if Pakistan is टुकड़े की जो बात है 5 टुकड़े में पाकिस्तान बढ़ सकता है वो सिचुएशन मुझे दिख रही है.
There's also news about the physical torture of Imran Khan that his family has spoken about. Samar, General Bakshi, that Asim Munir has organized physical torture for him. And because he has fallen very sick after the physical torture...
Army has nothing to do with this. Army has nothing to do with this.
Well, I mean, Army has everything to do with what's
going on. Administration. He was convicted by the court.
Just one. Now, Major Nadeem, 1 minute. Okay, Major Nadeem, Major Samarpal Toor is making a point. Yes, Samar.
If you are so sure that he's fine, then why is the government putting its foot on the axe? Why are you making the situation worse by not letting him give a 60-second recorded message to the public? Why are you making the PTI supporters accumulate even more and create a lawless situation? Why?
Why should?
If you claim everything is normal, आप लोगों को क्यों इकट्ठा होने दे रहे हो सड़कों पे?
No relief.
आपके पास जवाब नहीं है.
No relief by force. They are asking relief. They want to meet by force. It cannot happen with force. There are 5 points which I can give you the indicators that he is alive, he is alive, he is alive. Number 1, he is getting food from his home. He is getting food
That
from his
does
home.
not guarantee he is alive.
Number 2.
Seeing is believing. अगर मैं कोई चिट्ठी भेज दूं इमरान खान को जेल में, that doesn't imply he is alive. Please don't give hypothetical answers.
Administration officially issued a press release. Number 2. Number 3. Why should they kill? Why should they kill? He is under custody since last 2.5 years, and he is not.
What is stopping the Pakistan government from not letting his family members meet?
Why should we hurt him? Why should we give him the sympathy of the people? He is detained since last 2.5 years. He's there.
But his sisters have the right to meet him. His sisters have the right to meet him. वो तो basic right है. Lawyer has the right to meet him. This is a basic right. You are denying basic rights. Why?
Bhai, there is some procedure. They have to follow the procedure. They cannot come.
Sir, letting the lawyer meet